Hi guys! So today, we will proceed to our Marksman villager. In case you haven't watched yet the videos about the tank villager and support villager, I would recommend that you watch it first, if you are planning to do the commands for this Marksman villager. So anyway, let me introduce you, the Marksman villager. Marksman villager will have this white particle circling around them. And if you are playing MOBA games, you should be familiar with this Marksman role. So anyway, Marksman villager is a long-range village defender. He can target monsters from afar. However, he is not good at dealing with them at close range. So without further ado, let's see all of his abilities. We will start with his normal attack, which is called earshot. When there's a monster within his 8 to 30 radius, he will fire an earshot for every 3 seconds. The earshot will deal 10 damage to monsters on its path. However, his normal attack has a disadvantage. First, since the projectile isn't really fast, moving monsters can easily dodge it. Second, the Marksman villager can't fire an earshot whenever there's monster within his 8 radius, making him vulnerable at close combat. Alright, let's proceed to his passive skill, which is called burst shot. After every 3 normal attacks, the Marksman villager next normal attack will be enhanced. The burst shot is twice faster than the air shot. It is also a wider projectile, and will deal 20 damage to monsters on its path. Alright, now let's see his normal skill, which is called Pressurized shot. His normal skill is his trump card whenever a monster got close to him. This is what will happen to them. Whenever a monster got close within his 8 radius, he will then fire a pressurized shot, knocking the monsters on its path while dealing 5 damage, and will explode after reaching a certain range. The explosion will also deal 20 damage to monsters within the 5 radius of explosion. It also has 15 seconds cooldown. Alright, I think that covers up everything about the Marksman villager. It's command time now. We will start by making the white circling particle for the Marksman villager. By the way, a villager can be a Marksman villager when their faith score is 15. So with this, an armor stand named Marksman_indicator will spawn 10 blocks above the Marksman villager. Next, we need a command to kill that armor stand, in case there isn't a Marksman villager nearby. So when there's no Marksman villager 10 blocks below the armor stand will be killed. Now let's make the armor stand to spin. This command will make the armor stand to spin, which is an essential part on making the circling particle. Now, we need to make the armor stand to follow the Marksman villager. With this, the armor stand will always stay 10 blocks above the Marksman villager. Alright, let's put now the particle command. Now this is the white particle itself. Now let's make the armor stand invisible. With this, the armor stand will be invisible, and we can also see the white particle only. Alright, we're done now with the Marksman indicator commands. Let's test it. Alright, it seems the circling particle is working fine. Now let's proceed to the commands for his normal attack. But first, let's prepare the scoreboard objectives that we need. This means Marksman normal attack cooldown. One more objective. This means passive skill. We need this objective to prepare for the commands for passive skill later. Although, we need now to use it for the normal attack commands. Anyway, we need to make the Marksman villager to stop moving while facing the target. Using this command, we can make the Marksman villager to stop moving and face the closest monster within his 30 radius. Now once he found a target, we need the normal attack cooldown to increase. Now with this, when there's a monster within the 8 to 30 radius of the Marksman villager, the Marksman normal attack cooldown score will increase. Alright, we need to use a boat to make the normal attack projectile. So when the Marksman normal attack cooldown score reaches 60, a boat will be summoned 50 blocks above the Marksman villager. Now let's add a sound effect for that. So when the Marksman normal attack cooldown score reaches 60, this crossbow shoot sound will be played. Now to make the boat unique from other boats, let's add a tag to it. So with this, after the Marksman villager summons a boat, this command will add not tag to that boat. Now we need a command to count the air shot. We need to count it for the passive skill later. So when the Marksman normal attack cooldown score reaches 61, this command will add one passive skill score to that Marksman villager. Now, we need a command to reset the Marksman normal attack cooldown after reaching a certain score. So when the Marksman normal attack cooldown score reaches 61, this command will reset that score. Alright, let's see what it looks like for now. Oops, I forgot to activate the commands. You can hear the sound, right? Alright, let's finish up this normal attack. Let's make now the boat to start moving. Now with this, the boat will start moving forward. Now let's also put a max range for the boat. This command will prevent the boat to move forward forever. Now let's add a particle effect for the air shot. This particle will be executed 50 blocks below the boat. Now let's add the damage command. So with this command, monsters that got hit by air shot will take 10 damage. Alright, let's see now the complete version of the normal attack. Alright, fair enough. Let's proceed now to the commands for the passive skill. Let's start again by making the Marksman villager to stop moving while looking at the target. This is actually the same command as the 7th command. Now, we need to make the passive skill score to increase. If you will remember, the 12th command will add 1 passive skill score to the Marksman villager each time he shoot an air shot. And when the passive skill score reaches 3, this command will make the passive skill score to increase until it reaches 63. Now, we also need to summon a boat for the burst shot. So when the passive skill score of a Marksman villager is 63, this command will make that villager to summon a boat 50 blocks above him. Now, we need to add a different tag to that boat. After summoning the boat, this command will add PS tag to that boat. Let's also add a simple launch particle. So this particle will be activated when the Marksman villager launch a burst shot. Let's also add a sound effect for it. So if the passive skill score is 63, this sound will be played. Basically, when the Marksman villager launch a burst shot, this sound will be played. Now, we need a command to reset the passive skill score. So once the passive skill score reaches 63, this command will reset that score. Alright, let's see if everything will go according to plan. Although, we are not done yet with the passive skill. Oops, I forgot again to activate the commands. Yep, that's it, for now. Let's finish the passive skill. So with this, the boat for burst shot will move forward. Let's also add a max range for this boat. This is actually the same as the 15th command. I just replaced the mm underscore and a underscore cd to ps. Now let's add the burst shot particle. This particle will be executed 50 blocks below the boat. Now let's add the damage command. Now with this, monsters below 50 blocks from the boat will take 20 damage. Alright, now let's see the full potential of this burst shot. Let me use a tankier test subject. Awesome! We can now proceed to the commands for his normal skill. But of course, let's prepare first the scoreboard objective we need. This means Marksman normal skill cooldown. Alright, we will start again with making the Marksman villager to stop moving and face the target. when there's a monster within the 8 radius of the Marksman villager, and his normal skill is not on cooldown, this command will make him stop and face the closest monster. Now, we need to set a certain score, which will indicate that the normal skill has been activated. So when there's a monster within the 8 radius of the Marksman villager, this command will set the Marksman normal skill cooldown score to 300. Now let's add a sound effect. So when the Marksman normal skill cooldown score is at 300, this sound will be played from the Marksman villager's location. And again, we also need to summon a boat for this skill. So when the Marksman normal skill cooldown score is at 300, a boat will be summoned 50 blocks above the Marksman villager. And just like the other skills, we need to add attack to the boat. So after the Marksman villager summoned a boat, this command will add an S tag to that boat. Now we need a command to naturally reduce the cooldown of this skill. So this command will gradually reduce the Marksman normal skill cooldown score. Next, we need to have a command to fully reset the Marksman normal skill cooldown score. So when the Marksman normal skill cooldown score is at 0, this command will fully reset the Marksman normal skill cooldown score. Oh, why there is a repeating command block there? Oops, I also forgot to activate the 31st command. Alright, let's just see what we have here. Yeah, obviously it's not complete yet. Let's finish it up. With this, the boat that has S tag will be able to move forward. Now let's add the pressurized shot particle effect. This particle command will be executed 50 blocks below the boat that has S tag. Next, we need a command to attract the monsters to make it look like they are getting knocked back. So this command will attract monsters 50 blocks below the boat within 3 radius. Now let's inflict damage to monsters that are being knocked back by the pressurized shot. So while being knocked back by the pressurized shot, monsters will also take 5 damage continuously. Next, let's add the explosion damage. So when the pressurized shot isn't within the 20 radius of the Marksman villager, the pressurized shot will inflict 20 damage to monsters within its 5 radius. And since we applied an explosion damage, let's also add an explosion particle. Same condition as the previous command. This command will produce a particle that looks like an explosion. And since there's an explosion, we also need an explosion sound effect. Same condition again as the previous command. This command will produce an explosion sound to the explosion's location. Oops, I misspelled the scores. Alright. Now for the very last command for today. Let's set a max range for this skill. So when the pressurized shot reaches a certain range, this command will kill them. Alright, we are finally done with the Marksman villager. Time to test it out. Alright, it looks like everything is working perfectly fine. So anyway, I would like to shout out these two cute people. They are as cute as Mudang from Thailand. Anyway, see you on my next vid guys. Moi.